on. There's gonna be a brighter day. I love Keeping It Real by Shaggy. There was this day we used this song like this. Someone sent me a message and said, "Are you sure this is Home Affairs?" I said, "You gotta listen to the lyrics." It is Home Affairs. My name is Edem Knight-Tay. Thank you for being our guest at home. How are you? Your family members? Mine are doing good. And we're grateful to God for life, for strength, for health. So I was just telling Ariel that, in a very long time, I can say that I am tired of sleeping. Yesterday, I got home very early. By 6:30 or so, I was home. Before 8 o'clock, I was gone. Got up at midnight. And that was when I went to take a shower because I was too tired. I just slept. Then tried to pray. Before I realized I was gone again. And I have been thanking God. Say, "Oh, I want my mania good rest." And I'm very excited that I have had a very good sleep. How about you, though? What's up with you today? Traveling? Going to see, a loved one in the hospital. I know it's one of the routines people keep on weekends, You have things to do, the market, whatever it is. God's got you. It is well with you. Let me say a very big thank you to Amasha Partners Limited and IK Yum Vita, a delicious way to grow. Dano Milk, choose tasty milk, choose nourishment, choose Dano Milk. Dano Milk, go for it. Thank you for sponsoring us on Home Affairs all year round. Woo! Your businesses will continue to thrive. We are so grateful to all of you. On to our conversation. Offenses and apologies. I have personally listened to that conversation again and again and again. Phoebe, Ariel, and PG Sebastian. Oh my world. To attempt some parts of that conversation today. We're moving on to other realms, but in the same, around the same subject. This morning, I'd like us to look at forgiveness and beyond it. So we had a conversation and we've talked about, the different ways in which we get offended in our relationships and our marriages. We looked at this scenario about this gentleman who will always ask his wife to apologize, like go down and apologize, but he won't ever apologize. Even if his wife is offended, he says that I have said what I have said. So take it and do as I have told you. But if he feels offended, he will make sure that you understand to the ground that he is offended, and you will have to apologize to his satisfaction. And so I remember PG said that is the case of what is good for the goose is not good for the gander. It's one-sided. And there was this other one about this lady who will always say that, Sorry, it's okay, let's leave it. I'm sorry, you is fine. It's okay, let's leave it. Yes, I have wronged you, let's leave it. She always avoids the conversation about what the issues are. And we looked at that, lots of reasons why she could be behaving that way. And then I remember we ended the conversation by saying that, look, we should learn to forgive. We should learn emotional intelligence, learn to have conversations, learn not to put all the blame on your partner, learn to also be tolerant of your partner's emotions, have the conversations. We talked about the fact that if need be and the two of you are unable to resolve it, get a third person, not your mother or your father, but a neutral person, if possible. Let the partner who is skeptic choose the counselor so that you both can have conversations and resolve it. Okay. And it depends on the level of offense. Today I want to find out, Kofi is here, Ariel, the wellness coach, Reverend Kofi Boateng Esquire. Let me go into myself and bring it out well. And I like the hats he wears. When we are going that angle, we go, the legal way. And when you have to be given godly counsel. So he combines both. And that's so holistic. Kofi, thank you. You are a blessing to us. God bless you so much for coming again this morning.
God bless you too.
Good to see you.
Good morning and good morning to our listeners.
Great. And Ariel, the wellness coach.
Hiya.
Good. I'm happy you two are here.
Thank you.
So I want to, that's the first question on my mind I want to ask. If a relationship is troubled, let's use the case of, for instance, infidelity, okay, and it hits the relationship that bad, but you have tried to resolve it somehow. I want to find out, is it really possible for such an offense and such a hurt to be handled such that the relationship can come back to that equilibrium where you started off? Is it very possible that it can go away? You have offended the person, they have apologized. In some cases, the apologies will come only because they have been found out. It's not because they intended to stop and apologize, but it becomes a wrong because you've been found out. And then you will have to apologize because you still want to keep your home. Is it possible that the relationship can come back to that equilibrium where you started off on that plain sheet where there is absolute trust, there is absolute love, there is absolute care and concern, lack of fear and all those? Kofi, is it possible?
Yes, it is possible.
Okay.
But I think the parties have to take active steps towards rebuilding trust. So it's not something that you leave to just happen by itself, but they have to take active steps. And then once these things are done, they also have to give themselves time. These things don't go away overnight. They may forgive, and then they will relapse. They may go angry at some point. So there are series of reactions that the parties may go through, or the couple may go through before eventually true healing would come. But it takes time and a lot of patience.
Okay.
And it has to be deliberate.
It has to be deliberate.
Yes.
So, okay. So we can agree that we can get back to that space.
Yes.
But it will take time.
Yes.
Okay, we will be going into the things we have to do because that's where the issues are, to be able to bring this relationship back to, that equilibrium. Yes, Ariel, do you believe same?
Yeah, I do believe same, but there's a lot of work that has to be done. And when you apologize and there's no remorse and there's no change of attitude, the person you offend will always feel insecure. So even though the two parties will decide that, okay, we are moving forward to, come back to the clean slate, there should be a remorse and a change of attitude in the one who might have committed this offense. And it should be something that the other party should see that you intentionally is making progress to show that you had a lot of remorse. Because some people can say they are sorry, you can go through all the process, but it's a manipulative sorry, or a sorry just like a plaster to cover the wound. Because I'm sorry can be such, easy words for some people. They can say it easily, but they don't really mean it. So it's possible to come back to a clean slate. And I think a lot of people have done that. But it takes a lot of self-inquiry on the part of the person who offended. Why did I even do that in the first place? And am I able and willing not to repeat this offense? Because if you don't go through that yourself and you come back to the clean slate, but that remorse and that change of attitude and that inquiry doesn't go on properly, you may do it again. Then it means that you are not there anymore. So it can happen, but there's a lot of work that has to be done on both parties to get there.
Okay. So I have backed that it can happen. However, I want to take us back to how we ended that conversation about the fact that, I kept saying that, look, I remember I kept saying I was very stubborn when we had that conversation because I kept pushing the limits. This person has come to apologize. Or we have this one who won't apologize, who is not feeling like I have done anything wrong. It is their attitude and it is hurting you. And I remember we ended on the self-care note, that you will have to take care of yourself, you will have to learn to heal. And even if the person refuses to change, must we, before we go into this other one, because I wanted to have that one down, must we continue to keep fighting for the relationship if you have done it over a period 3, 4, 5 years? They keep doing the same things over and over and over again, and each time they do it, it's either they apologize and go back to it, or they have come to the point where, or you have come to realize that this is just who they are, they won't change, but you're hurting and you're still in there. Must we continue to fight for such relationships? Stay in them?
Yeah, okay, can I go?
Yes, please go.
Okay, so being in a relationship with someone who fakes apology or uses it to manipulate you is very bad for your mental health. And it's not good for any relationship if you find yourself in such a situation that it continues and continues. But leaving or going or staying in the relationship, one needs to have gone through a certain steps to have arrived at a place that they are setting that this thing is not going to change, this thing is not going to work. And as you said, we landed on the self-care part, that the person needs to do a lot of things to care for their mental health and all that. First thing is to give the person the benefits of the doubt that they have that capacity to change, and give them chance, because change is not a one-day thing as well. Secondly, you need to set boundaries with this person. And when we mean boundaries, some people, you need to let them know the consequences of what will happen if they continue doing this. So it's not about staying or leaving, because there are consequences too in leaving. So you need to have gone through certain process, set boundaries with this person, let them know the consequences that will come if they do this, because sometimes it takes people to lose a friendship before they realize how important that friendship was for them. So you don't necessarily have to stay, but if you intend to leave, you need to give the person the benefit of the doubt, set boundaries with them, watch their behavior to see if really this person intends to make themselves a better version of themselves for the relationship. But if not, then you may arrive at a place that you have two ways, and taking one will come with a consequence, and staying two will come with a consequence. At that moment, you have to weigh the consequences you are going to deal with and decide, I would rather leave and deal with these consequences, or I will stay and go with, find a way to deal with it. It's difficult for one person to tell you to leave,
Or to stay.
or to stay. Yeah, that is one thing. People think it's easy for a coach to tell me do this or do that. No, you have to actually work yourself to that place of making that decision. And working yourself to the place of making that decision requires certain tools and resources you need to use.
Okay.
And one of them is self-care. The second one, boundaries. The second one is letting consequences also come. If the person taking advantage of I'm sorry or whatever, it's not changing. Once you're also showing that value of yourself to put a consequence on an offense, I think it works sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think, Kofi?
I think it's a very difficult place to be in when you live with an unrepentant spouse
Yeah.
or partner,
Yeah.
regardless of whether or not they apologize for their actions.
Or
But
not.
they will repeat it
Yeah.
the next minute.
Yeah.
So I agree with Ariel. It's important to weigh the alternative.
Okay.
Are you going to stay or leave? If you stay, can you keep up? Will you be able to keep your mental health? If you leave, are you willing to deal with the consequences of a broken home or divorce and all of that? So you have to weigh all of it. One of the things that we have to be careful with setting boundaries. It's a good thing, but please don't give ultimatums that you cannot keep.
Yeah.
Oh, if you do this next time, I'm
I'll
leaving.
do this. Yeah.
You may say
Yeah.
that and you'll be forced to leave even though you don't intend to leave.
Yeah.
And then sometimes our pride sets in, and because you've said it, you want to live up to
Yeah.
it. And then you take
Yeah.
actions that
Yeah.
you regret
Yeah.
later on.
Yeah.
So ultimately, we also, I think we should try and understand what makes people do the things they
Yeah.
do.
They do.
I'm not trying to make excuses for people's bad behavior in relationships, but everybody's coming from somewhere.
Yeah.
Sometimes it behoves us on us to take the time to understand where they are coming from. Some people have struggles, so how can we help them? Maybe we need to get them to seek some sort of counseling or to open up, and then you can help them, or you can put in certain certain boundaries for them. For instance, if it's infidelity and they keep saying somebody, or they keep going to the same place over and over again, they may have to take a step back and take some sanctions. Stop going to a particular place, stop doing a particular thing. So these are steps that we can take to help our spouses, instead of sometimes just sitting back and being judgmental and pushing them away or running away from them.
I remember during the course of that conversation, Ariel said, "Oh, it's serious," and then she was trying to give an excuse, and I said, "I know. Don't ever apologize for saying that being in a relationship is a serious thing. It is a serious thing, one that can lead to marriage and even bring children into the
Yes.
world. You can't describe it any other way than saying that it is serious, because
is.
it impacts on your life.
Exactly.
And like we are saying, if it is that you want to stay, the coach, like we are doing, will only open your eyes to a lot of things.
Yeah.
And then you will pick up the knowledge
Yes.
and be able to make
To
the
make
decision.
decisions.
Yes.
Yeah.
And remember that when you decide to stay in there are so many things you have to do.
Exactly.
Are you staying for a while and seeing if things will get better?
Giving them a chance.
Yeah.
Exactly. But like Kofi said, you don't go giving ultimatums
Yeah.
and issuing threats. And I like the bit about the fact that you've issued an ultimatum, you've issued a threat. And so
yeah.
when something looks like it,
You have to take that.
now you have to stand your grounds and prove that I am who I am.
Yes.
And
Yes.
You may not be ready.
your heart may not be agreeing with your actions.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you would want to
You
take
have to
Yeah.
prove a point.
Yeah.
I tell you, it can be a very big
And that's the time you take those decisions, and then you regret it.
Exactly.
But you
And-
can't say you
and
have regretted it
yeah,
too.
but
No.
you know.
It is
You
with
know,
you.
you know
That's
you've
where your
regretted
pride-
it,
your
and then it
pride kicks
becomes
in.
a problem for
Yes.
you. So hasty decisions are very unhealthy. We need to actually. There are a lot of tools and resources God has given us to use to mend and heal relationship. I tell people, leaving is not the first solution. There are
Okay.
so many things one can do.
Ariel, see here, if the person shows promise, because I want us to close on this and move to the other one. If the person shows promise, or you realize that they are making efforts,
Yes.
and their efforts have become quite consistent,
Yes.
then I think that you also have a lot of responsibility to be able to help them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But in the case where the person is unrepentant,
Yes.
your options are quite obvious to
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So, I mean, do we agree we can?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
If the person shows promise and they're making efforts, then you will have to support
Yes.
them.
Yeah,
support
you have
them.
to, yeah.
And also remember that people are making efforts, but sometimes they will fall back. You will observe
They
how
relapse.
exactly, that's the word. You will observe how they also feel and react when they relapse.
They relapse. Exactly.
Then you would know that this person is struggling.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if you went in because you love them and you're with them, then you will help them through their struggles
Yeah.
because they really want to come out.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if the person is unrepentant, your options are right in front of you.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I mean, talking about that, there's something that I've noticed in some movies I've watched. Do you notice that white people sometimes in relationship, even though they haven't been caught, they come and then they tell you, I kissed Mary and I'm sorry. And sometimes I'm watching this, but the person didn't see you. So why are you telling the person
Osro.
I have done this?
Because their conscience was eating them up.
Exactly. So if people have conscience, sometimes you don't even have to be caught. And I mean,
They'll
you
come
can
clean.
confess, and that helps you not to repeat. If really it was something that happens unconsciously or not planned, as soon as you meet your partner, tell them something happened. I feel uncomfortable about it, and I want to, I mean, let you know.
Hey.
But
Yes,
you see,
because people do it.
Some people also weigh the capacity of their
Of
spouse.
their
for
spouse
the-
is
for the
true,
truth.
because they may not
Uh-huh.
be able to take it.
Because a
Because
little
when
I
I
held this
see it, I'm
person's
like,
hand to some people will
why
be,
would you do
hey,
that? But they
you've-
do it.
You've
For-
betrayed me. Why would you go and hold this person's hand?
Hey. This is very real.
And no, some people do it. I've seen it a couple of times, and no, I wonder why they do it. I
Yeah.
mean, they'll come home, and though their partner was not there, they haven't seen it. They'll tell you, this happened and this happened. Like
And
really?
then it also depends on the foundation on
Of
which
the relationship.
exactly
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
built
That's
on.
true.
You know, if
That's
one that's
true.
built on
Exactly.
trust and everybody and loyalty, then it's easy,
It's easy
to come
to
clean
come
and
clean,
expect to be
yeah.
forgiven and move
Yeah.
on. You know, but if the relationship is already hanging in the balance, then you have to be careful.
Great. So we can safely end on this. I'm sure what to do when you see that your partner is showing promise and they are falling back is also a very big conversation that we
Yeah.
can have,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, and you want to help them. To what extent are you helping them?
Yeah.
At what point in time do you realize that they're not pushing hard enough? And what work do you have to put? That's also a conversation that we can have on its own. But
Edem,
now,
Let me add, I think most of us are not trained or well versed in how to deal with things like addiction. You know,
Yeah.
there are people who are addicted
Character
to sex.
addiction, yeah.
There are people who are addicted to all kinds of substances. And dealing with these things takes a lot of tact
Yeah.
and
Work.
some
Yeah.
level of expertise to understand what they go through and the efforts they are making and the reason why they keep going back. So when we don't have, you know, the understanding and the knowledge, it's easy to again judge
And write
and
people
give
off.
up on
Yeah.
people instead of helping them,
yeah.
go
great,
through it.
Great. So now I want us to go to where we started from. So this is an aspect of it where the person is truly remorseful. They have done the things over the period. The scenarios we used in that conversation was that somebody is always, I mean, so you're always on your partner. You've offended me. Apologize. And you will never apologize to them. Because even if you made a mistake, you have ensured that the mistake is their fault. So you cannot make mistakes, you know. And they have lived with this for a very long time. They're hurting because in their hurt, that's when you want to, not necessarily, I don't even want to use the word make love. That's when you want to have sex with them.
Yeah.
And in that case, when the man is, you know, having, you know, intimacy with his wife and the woman is not responding, what is wrong with you? I am touching you and
And
this is
you're
how you
not.
are behaving. Why are you not responding? They expect you to moan and do all the things after the minutes before he was really abusing you, right? The next minute he expects you to do, oh baby, and then you are doing all those things. And the woman says that, look, the place I am now, there is no way my body can respond to you that way. You're taking it because I am your wife and it has become my duty. So you're taking it. Take it and let me be free. Because truth is, I can't adjust to the way you're feeling.
Yeah.
And this has been the routine. So gradually, there's a distance between them. Then we had this other situation where the woman tries to avoid every conversation. So the moment you come saying that, but why have you done this? It's okay. Sorry, I'm sorry. You, it's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Let's leave it.
Let's leave it. You, it's okay. I've taken the blame. It's okay. So what else do you have to say? But then no, for this man, it is not enough. Like, I need to let you understand,
Yeah.
and the woman will not let you. And I think we gave a lot of insights into that as well. Then there is the big one where they are big things. You've gone out, you are there, then bam, they've brought a baby to you. You know, the baby is 10 years. Hey! So all this while you were doing this,
Yeah.
or you discover that there's a very big affair, and the affairs, they come in different shapes and sizes. Some people have gone on to, even they have a second home, you know, with this other person and all that, and or there is some money issues. They are building somewhere, they are hiding money somewhere, they are doing a lot of things,
Yeah, without
in,
you.
in marriages and relationships without you. And then you discover some of these things, especially the last two scenarios I have given, because the first two can be solved with the scenarios we gave the first time. But you discover that your partner has offended you in such big ways, like we started. And they have come to that realization, and they have apologized. But you're pained, you're hurt. You can't take your mind off. Why did you even do it?
Yeah.
They have explained to you, but every once in a while you're there, it hits you,
Yeah.
and you're wondering, what else could they be hiding? And you know, most of the time when you zone into that mode, sometimes it's the end for you. Not that you're leaving the relationship, but every time your mind tells you they could be hiding something.
Yeah, trust
Yeah.
is broken.
It's broken totally. We are fine, but I'm looking at you telling me a very nice story, and we are all happy, but at the back of my mind I go like, you're such a snitch. People are not people. You know, I'm having a lot of thoughts about you that I'm
Yeah.
not voicing out, and because that is eating you up, it affects the relationship in lots of ways. Even though the other person thinks that I have spoken about it, I have apologized,
Yeah.
and I am expecting that we go back on. That's the reason I asked, in such instances, are we able to come back on track? And we all agreed that yes. How?
Okay, so first of all, if you are the one hurting, the other party has to understand that it's your right to take your time to heal, and that they cannot expect that just because they apologized yesterday, by today you should be fine, you know. However, we also, all of us have to learn. One of the things we all need to come to terms with is that we have to come to a place where we can forgive our partners and our spouses without necessarily expecting an apology, whether verbalized or not. You know, we have to be able to forgive, even if they show signs of remorse sometimes. We also have to accept the fact that showing remorse and apologizing is a virtue that some people simply don't have. You know, the way some people are raised in homes where when they have squabbles with their siblings, the parent will say, hey, go and apologize to your sister, go and apologize to your brother, go and apologize to your uncle. Some people never got that. And so it is difficult to accept that after not having been trained or not having been exposed to these virtues, you marry someone, you know, averagely you marry someone, we get married in our 20s and beyond, right?
Early 30s.
At that point, it is possible for them to learn, but it may be difficult because they've never learned it. They've never been exposed to it. You know, and when you say your vows and you say for better or for worse, this is who you have married. They don't know how to say sorry.
Yeah.
And you've married them. But if you pay attention, sometimes you would see that they show signs, the things they say. How can I make it up to you? You know I didn't do well. They didn't say, I'm sorry, forgive me.
Yeah.
But they say, you know what? I mean, this didn't go well. How can I make it up?
Or they'll take you out for dinner.
Yes. So coming back to the scenario that you gave, if you are the person who is so feeling so hurt and your spouse or partner has apologized, and you know it is normal that the healing process takes time. It depends on, you know, it varies from one individual to another. You may go through the process of denial and then coming to accept and so on and so forth. It is very normal. Give yourself time. Pray about it. Ask. Sometimes there are things that we can do on our own. We may have to just go to the Holy Spirit to help us to heal. pray about it. Ask God to help you to heal. Sometimes that's the only way we can help. We can heal.
Yes, Ariel.
Yeah, so I like the part you touched on the rumination of the incidents while you are looking at the person, you're still thinking you're a snitch, you're all that. And that is the part that is unhealthy for you, the person who is in the relationship.
Okay.
As though everything has been sorted, you've still not been able to move on, or you've still not been able to gain some level of trust for your partner. And for me, that is where you are actually now taking the toxic on yourself, and it's affecting your health and your well-being. So you need to, if you want to stop that rumination continuing in your mind about what the person did, even though you've now start on a clean slate, but you still look at the person, you're like, you, I don't trust you, you can do this again. You need to find ways to stop that process of always thinking about what the person did in the past. Because the more you keep thinking about it, the more you are actually always looking out to see.
But do you have control over those thoughts?
You do. You do.
Hey.
We do have control over our thought. That's why the Bible said to us that we should take hold of our thoughts. You have that power. You have that capacity. There are strategies you can do. One of them is journaling. Writing your thoughts helps you to disengage from a toxic thought. There are practices and things we can do. You can talk to someone. Exercising is another way of disengaging with our thoughts, rumination. So when we talk about the self-care practice, what we have to do is actually engage in activities, practices that will help you to treat yourself with compassion and kindness. And so when we are talking about self-care, people think it's all about the niceties. No, it's about a mental process of going through something and coming out unscathed, and coming out not hurt or not broken, or your mental and physical health is not being affected. So if you agree that this thing is eating me up, find activities and strategies that you can use. But sometimes we don't do the work for ourselves. We are looking at the other person, the change we want to see in the other person, or that they will do something for us to feel okay or heal us. It doesn't work like that. You knowing what you're going through needs to take steps to find ways to heal your mind and also your body and your soul. So journaling is one of them. If you find yourself ruminating about something that has happened in the past and it's hurting you, journal about it. Keep writing about it until you feel like you've poured everything. Sometimes I'm coaching people and I tell them, this is a safe space. Do you want to scream? Do you want to insult the person? Do you want to do it in a positive and healthy way so that you don't also now turn the whole situation into something? Exercising is one of the most powerful way of taking care of our mental health. So exercise. Find activities that will nourish you. Treat yourself with some kind of self-compassion. Because if you don't, you are the one now being in disease, But the person has done it. And for the person, we are moving on. But you are still ruminating about it. That's where it becomes your self-responsibility to find tools and resources. If you need to find a coach to help you to deal with it, find a coach to help you to deal with it. But by all means, there are things you can do. And knowing yourself, if maybe reading a good book will help you to stop ruminating, read it. So you need to find activities and practices to do in order to stop your mind from going on. And also find ways to trust your partner again. Because without trust, you always look at them and be suspecting them. That will also now become toxic in the relationship. So after you clean the slate, there's work on the one who is offended, and there's work on the one who offended. And it can't work if nobody does their part of the work. Yeah.
Edem, to add to what Ariel just said, initially I mentioned steps to rebuild trust.
Yeah.
It's very important that you take those active steps.
Yeah.
So it depends on what steps are being taken that would help you to also heal. Is the person, the offending partner, now being accountable? For instance, in the case of infidelity, are they now telling you where they are at every point? Can you now see their messages? I'm not saying everyone should go looking at other people's messages, but if, for instance, you snooped on his phone and found something, and now he's even reinforced his protective,
Yeah.
what you call it, added more additional passwords to his phone, it will make you wonder,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
If the person was having an affair with their secretary, and you know that the secretary is still there, they
You
work
won't
in the
feel
same place,
good.
they still travel around. How are you going to sleep when he tells you I'm going on a business trip,
Yeah.
knowing that this person is going
Is
to be
going
there?
with
But
Yes.
she's
So-
very competent.
Oh, they may have to change the competent secretary.
So the point I'm making is
Christ
that
in me.
have you reassured your spouse
Yeah.
that this will never happen again?
Yeah.
I used to go and play tennis, and I was playing with this person, and it was as a result of that we ended up having a relationship.
Yeah.
Have you decided to look for a new place to go
To
play
play
tennis,
tennis?
or to even quit playing tennis? You know, so these are some of the steps that we can take that will help and we give our spouses or the people that we offended some assurance that we're willing to do things differently.
The work is hard.
Yeah, there's work to do. And for me, that's the word I always tell people. You have work to do. Both parties have work to do.
And from what we're saying, it is looking as though a lot of the work is on the party that is hurting.
Yes.
Exactly.
Exactly. Then that is where the word comes in again, self-care.
Because the other person may be accountable to you.
Yeah.
They are telling you that, okay, I don't go here anymore. The places I used to go alone, I'd like us to go together.
Together.
Yeah.
If I go and something, changes, I will let you know,
No,
and they
yeah.
try to let you know.
Yes.
They try to change their ways and their patterns and all that. So they are doing the work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bigger work is on you accepting the level
Yeah.
of accountability they are bringing
Yeah.
to the
Exactly.
table
Exactly.
and using it to rebuild.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that is a lot of work.
Yeah, a lot of work. Yeah.
It is.
Because you are the one who has been offended. You are the one who is hurting.
Yes.
You are the one who is going through all the emotions
Yeah.
because your trust has been betrayed.
Yeah.
And now you are supposed to now bring yourself to that point where you're taking the things that they are telling you and turning them into virtue now
Yeah.
again.
See,
And-
Edem,
and
it's
that's a
it's,
lot of work.
It's easy when it's the first time. In some instances, they've heard these assurances before. Oh, now I'm doing this. I've deleted their number. The next thing you find out, they're still together. So, what kind of subsequent assurance will make you, comfortable?
Kobe, you just
Okay.
gave me another topic for discussion.
Hey, Adna. Missy Adna.
Yes, I have noted it. you know that topic.
No, tell us so we start preparing.
So, question now is, in a case of infidelity, a very classic case like that, what makes this person keep going back to that?
Same person.
Because it happens in a lot
It
of
happens.
places.
Yeah, it happens.
I have stopped, and sometimes for 3 months, 4 months, they have stopped though.
Yeah.
And then before you realize, it flames
They
again.
go back.
Before
Yeah.
you realize, it flames
If-
again.
yeah.
So, and it is not like
No,
are
no,
not
they
fighting.
didn't stop. You thought they had stopped
Yeah,
for 3 months.
they didn't stop. They didn't stop.
They found a better way of keeping it away from you.
Yeah.
Okay, I won't go into it because it's drawing my mind into other things. Like, okay, so if the person keeps going, they keep apologizing, they keep going, and it is not like they are changing the partners. They're not going to other
It's
places.
the same
But They
person.
keep going to the same,
Same
one
person.
old person. Then what is it?
So you begin to question yourself. What
Yes,
is it that
yeah.
this
Then
person
it
has
start
that I don't
affecting
have?
your self-esteem.
What does she do to you that I cannot do to you
Eish.
or do for you?
Eish. Hey, no, seriously, being in a relationship or being married is not for the faint-hearted.
No.
And you've also got to be very mature.
Yeah.
And know that
There's a need for
a lot of
maturity.
things will change around you when you now decide to take that step to be with somebody. Because if you're not ready to now compromise, let's go self and become us, then you don't have any business wanting to be married.
Yeah.
Because it is work. It's not the wedding, which most of us see.
Yeah.
You see, it's not the wedding. It's a lot of work, and people will offend people anyway. People will make mistakes anyway. And in this relationship that involves you and I, we will have to be ready and willing to forgive and forgive and forgive
Yeah.
and forgive.
Yeah.
Over and over
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
People will also have to be willing and be ready to work on their weaknesses and work on it and work on it and work on it until we all get to that point.
Yeah.
Yes.
Otherwise, We will go in today, we have discarded.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, we have discarded. And because everybody you meet has their own baggage they are
They are
working
coming
with.
with, exactly.
So then you will keep discarding and discarding and discarding. Hey, what sort of life is this? But a lot of people too have made it work. They have made it beautiful. And it all depends on the decisions you're making.
Yeah.
I will come back for us to continue on the accountability because I think we haven't exhausted that. You know, I have noted. I think we've talked a lot about you, the person, that you must take time. You must take time to heal.
Yes.
The things that are worrying you. However, you will deal with it. I mean, does it include maybe if you want to go away for a while? Is it allowed?
Yeah.
I mean, whatever it is that will make you heal, you will have to be helped to heal. We've talked about is it Kofi who mentioned it, that there are times that you people show remorse and apologize in different ways.
Yes.
So you may be expecting apology in a certain way, and it may not come in that way.
Yeah.
But have you opened your eyes enough to realize that this is this person's way of saying they're sorry and showing remorse? And it will not necessarily be the way you expect it, you know, because they've not been brought up and wired that way.
Exactly.
And so if you want the relationship, then you also must be flexible and open your eyes to these things. And then you must also lend yourself to praying and asking for support from the Holy Spirit if you're a Christian, like, I mean, we are. So these are some of the ways that you can care for yourself. And we all talked about the fact that self-care is not just the niceties. It's also about, it's mainly about your mental processes. That, I mean, the things you will have to do that will end up making you feel good about yourself, being in control of your life the best way possible, because there are some people who take very nonsense controls over their lives, you know. I am in control of my life, so you are doing every foolish thing out there and saying that you are in control. This sort of mental process and control must come with a lot of emotional intelligence, you know, because you are not an island unto yourself. And then Kofi brought in the bit about accountability. Now, so we will now come in to look at you, the offender. Some of the things that you will also have to do and ensure that you are not getting weary or tired at some point in time and say, so we'll come to talk a bit more about that. But for your eye care challenges, we urge you to look no further. Amasha Partners Limited and Eye Care has it all. Your eyes deserve the best care and quality designer eyeglasses. And Amasha Partners and Eye Care, they undertake the following services. They supply designer frames. They test your sight for you. They supply lenses, sunglasses, contact lenses, ophthalmologist in attendance, and they also offer general treatment. Locate us at La Opsa Trade Fair, Spencer's adjacent ICG CB4, the Community 18 Junction, McCarthy Hill, they are opposite Benjay Lodge, not Kaneshi, they are Swan Lake, opposite Green Hand Junction. Achimota, they are inside the Denswa Plaza on the second floor. Go to Takrade, you'll find them at Axim, on the Axim Road, opposite CBG Banco, opposite Housing Junction, Kumasi Airport Roundabout, Kolebu, opposite ECG and Kufuridua Central Hospital Road, Tema Community 1 inside the Meridian Plaza. And you can contact them on 0302 939 850 or 0302 778827. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The mention of Takrade reminds me that 27, 28, we will have to go and support PG as he, you know, sees his mother off back to her maker. PG, we are with you. And we will be there to support you all the way. Our condolences one more time. Now, imagine getting rewarded for something, for doing something you already do every single day. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, that's exactly what Momo season is all about. There's something for everyone. Download the Momo app on Play Store or App Store and use Momo Pay for your day-to-day transactions to a merchant, either through the QR code or the merchant ID, and stand a chance of winning 1,000 Ghana cedis weekly and other amazing prizes. Our merchants are also not left out of the reward. Receive payments and win. Keep using your Momo Pay on the Momo app and get rewarded. There are lots and lots of exciting prizes for everyone. So what are we doing today? Transact more with Momo Pay, earn more points, and win big this Momo season. Visit Momo Merchants application.mtn.com.gh/ for your Momo for business account today. It's Momo season. So just Momo it with Momo Pay. T's and C's apply. So the dates we have here, 16th August, which is long gone. And so you will have to just use Momo Pay. I will tell you about it again before we go. And we also have the EMY Awards coming up. I don't even know why Kojo decided to do this only for, men. You have to start considering that EW Awards as well. So the stage is set for Africa's most prestigious awards event. Join us to celebrate the Men of the Year at the 8th Emmy Africa Awards on Saturday, 14th October at the Grand Arena, Accra International Conference Center, Accra. Red carpet starts at exactly 6 p.m. Partners: Joy FM, Joy Prime, Diaspora Affairs Office of the President of Ghana, Rhythms Africa, EY Ghana, and Labadi Beach Hotel. Sponsors: NLA 590 Mobile, Arocha Ghana, Go Energy, Flora Tissues, Woodin, DVO Ghana, and Special Ice Water. And supported by Caveman Watches, Bag in Ghana, Joe Persky, Eswavo Security, M Pedigree, Societe, MC Bansi Perfumes, Ambience by Talata, Lamborghini, Energy Drinks, Ghana Post, Think Home Luxury, and Prime Shades Limited. Media partners: Joy FM, Joy Prime, EMY Africa Magazine. For more information, call 020-201-8870 and 0302-738-727. The 8th EMY Africa Awards, inspiring greatness. Joy 99.7 FM. This is Home Affairs. My name is Edem Knight-Tay. And what are we talking about? We're looking at offenses and apologies. And today we are focusing on getting back the equilibrium after that big shake-up, that big offense, occurs in your relationship. And so far, we have had very good counsel from Ariel, the wellness coach, and we have also been talking to Reverend Kofi Boateng, Esquire.
It's the best season of the year. Just in some points, Momo Pay, or you say Momo app. Send with ease and win big. You be merchant or you be Momo user. Momo season Abanti, send the BBR. Send the BBR. Momo season Abanti, send the BBR.
From now till the end of September, earn points when you download the Momo app and make Momo Pay transactions to a merchant via either the QR code or merchant ID, and stand the chance of winning 1,000 Ghana cedis weekly and other amazing prizes. Our merchants are not left out. Receive payment and win. There are lots and lots of exciting prizes to be won. So download the Momo app, transact with Momo Pay, and get rewarded this Momo season. TNCs apply.
MTN. In life, choice is good, but choice plus safety is way better. Your safety and comfort is paramount. Under the cylinder recirculation model, you can buy LPG in a safe environment. All cylinders are inspected and maintained to the best safety standards, so your safety is assured. Just take your empty cylinder to the nearest exchange point and swap it for a filled cylinder. Different cylinder sizes will be available to meet your pocket size. Imagine cooking in a smoke-free environment. This will improve the health and well-being of you and your family. Choose LPG in a safer model of distribution. Cylinder recirculation model. Securing your safety. Creating more jobs. A message from the National Petroleum Authority under the patronage of the Ministry of Energy.
There's going to come a time that the church will rise as the highest of all the mountains, and saviors will be raised in the church to deal with the world system. And let it be now. We need to have a national focus. We don't have to lose this ambition, or else we work against the Great Commission.
They are equipped in righteousness, the agenda to possess the nations. Welcome to an equipping center of the word and prayer on Pentecost Hour. Pentecost Hour comes to you on Joy 99.7 FM, 1:30 p.m. every Sunday.
Get ready and save big with the Melcom Payday promo happening this weekend. Enjoy a whopping 20% discount in any Melcom store nationwide. This promo is valid from Friday 29th September to Sunday 1st October 2023. It's the Melcom Payday promo. Terms and conditions apply. Melcom, where Ghana shops.
Good day, headmaster. Good day, sir. Me hun academic improvement. E wo me ban school kromo pa. Me da se wo kan for calculus series. E ma ye na wo fo no.
I'm glad to hear this. Calculus series. Eni hwemo da. The books are standard and core-based syllabus for schools.
My boyfriend say na ni tin wo ye o. Books are e be ma na te syllabus na se. E na se na wo nya ye.
Oh yes. We have textbooks, workbooks, classic storybooks and more. English language, mathematics, science, history, computing, French, RME, creative arts, our world, our people. You name them. For preschools to SHS.
Headmaster, me pe calculus series ni bi ama me ma.
Calculus series are available in all leading bookshops nationwide. For bulk purchase, call us 0548 29 67 41 or 0244 54 97 21.
Calculus series,
the best.
In 7 FM. This is Home Affairs, and we have been talking about offenses and apologies. And today our focus has been getting the equilibrium back after that big offense, hits your relationship or especially your marriage. I have a message here that says, good morning, Edem. Another great discussion. Thank you. At what point in time will one realize those apologies are fake? And at what level will one ignore those apologies because some will intentionally do, but the remorse alone? This is by Ajiman Joseph. 055-1111-997. 055-1111-997 is where you can reach at today. I'm sure we will try. Okay, let me activate the phone lines now, pick about 2 phone calls, and then I will come back to Kofi and Ariel to give us, a bit more insight into your responsibility as the offender to ensure that we are getting that equilibrium. Because you who has been offended, we have talked about you and the things that you have to do. But the person who has offended you also has a lot of work rests on the person as well. Because, you have to prove, demonstrate, show evidence that you are not going back to do what you did. So 0302216541, 0302216541. We will pick about 2 phone calls and then we come back in studio. While I wait for your phone calls, enrich your breakfast with the nourishing goodness of Dano Milk Cool Cow Instant Powdered Milk. The rich taste of Dano Milk makes a perfect combination with your tea, oats, cocoa, and others to give you that great tasting breakfast you've always desired. Dano Milk Cool Cow is fortified with vitamin A, and it's also a good source of protein, nutrients such as vitamin B12 and iodine to help keep you nourished and strong always. Dano Milk is affordable and in a shop near you. Choose Dano Milk today for your nourishment and build your strength every day. Dano Milk, go for it. This advert is FDA approved. And once again, imagine getting rewarded for doing something you always or you already do every single day. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, that's exactly what Momo Season is all about. There's something for everyone. Go on and download the Momo app on Play Store or App Store and use Momo Pay for your day-to-day transactions to a merchant either through the QR code or merchant ID, and you stand a chance of winning up to 1,000 Ghana cedis weekly and other amazing prizes. Our merchants are also not left out of the reward. Receive payments and win. Keep using your Momo Pay on the Momo app and get rewarded. There are lots of exciting prizes for everyone. So what are you doing today? Transact more with MomoPay, earn more points, and win big with Momo Season. Visit momomerchantapplications.mtn.com.gh/ for your Momo for Business account today. It's a Momo Season, so just Momo it with MomoPay. T's and C's do apply. Hello, good morning. Oh, we lost you there. I'm sorry. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Can you hear me? Hello.
Yes.
Okay. Can you turn down the volume on your radio set? There's so much feedback. Okay. Are you there on the line? Okay.
Okay.
All right. Good morning. Hello. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Good. What's your name, sir?
My name is John. Northeast.
Okay, John, you're on air. Please, let's hear you.
I am a listener of this relationship conversation all the time, but I have not been privy to calling and putting my contribution or asking any question because it is this transaction, or let me call it this type of relationship in marriage, is very difficult thing to talk about. When somebody goes off the line, if one of the spouses goes off the line and relate himself or herself with another person, they introduce new relationship.
John, hello, John. Could you please be fast about it for me again? We have 1 minute.
Pardon?
I'm saying that we had 1 minute, so if you could just hit it straight for me, I will appreciate it.
Okay. I am only saying that it is well, to cut it all short, unless they don't see each other. If they see each other, it is difficult for them not to renew that type of relationship.
Okay, John.
Together in a private place.
Yeah, I get it. Okay, thank you very much. So I get what John is saying is that if you are trying to get out of some of these, relationships, for as long as there is the opportunity for the two parties to keep seeing each other, it's very difficult for you to say that you're cutting the relationship off. Thank you very much, John. That's a point that my guest agree with totally. Thank you so much. Okay, back to the studio. When a call comes, do we have a call? Okay, so we're in the studio. When a call comes in, we'll pick. Who do I start with? Okay, I'll start with you, Ariel. We're asking the person who has offended their partner, some of the responsibilities on them. We want to let them know.
Okay. The first thing is to take full responsibility of what you have done. I think sometimes people like to say it's because you are not doing something right, and that's why I found myself in this. That is a breaker in the whole process. If you, for 1 minute, make the other person you've offended to feel that they have something to do with what you did, I mean, I think reconciliation or building the relationship back will be difficult. So if you are the one who did something to hurt your partner, take full responsibility. Don't tell them they did something and that's why. I mean, that is like trying to still hide behind what you did. So take full responsibility. And also help your partner. Let the person you offend know that you are extending compassion and care for them so that they can heal and process the hurt you brought into the relationship. If you are not compassionate about them, and you mention like when the person you've offended is not interested in having sex and not feeling happy, and you don't understand them, that is making it very difficult for them to even process the whole situation, because we are all two different people and our emotions come and go differently. So if you've offended your partner and they haven't dealt with it, they haven't gone through the process yet, but you think, okay, because I've said sorry and I want to, make love to you, you should be happy and jumping and okay. If the person is not ready, extend compassion. Extend understanding to them and let them know you understand they are going through something. But sometimes if you don't do this and you also say, okay, you are denying me this, and you also get angry, it's also extending the whole process of coming back to the clean slate. And then give your partner the opportunity to win you back again, to feel that you've actually become the person they knew from the beginning. If you don't give them the opportunity, they will feel you just want to rush through it to your advantage, which is sometimes, most of the time, people will say sorry just because they know the word will get them off feeling guilty. If you are truly feeling guilty, give your partner the chance to win you back. Work for them to win you back. And some of the things you can do is show commitment. Commitment is a very important tool that can be used. And commitment will come because you value something in the relationship. It could be that you've worked so hard to get to where you are, or you have children who are young. What will let you look at the relationship and say, I'm committed to this relationship, and so I'll go through the process of making sure my partner understand that I have made the change that I've promised to make. If you're not committed and you don't show that commitment that I'm going to go through this phase with you, I understand what you're going through, I'm responsible, and like Kofi said, the steps you are taking to show accountability, then your partner will take long to win back your trust. And everything you are going to do is to win back your partner's trust. So there should be some level of responsibility, compassion for your partner to go through the process, and also commitment to the relationship.
Thank you very much. I wish there was time for me to follow up on two of the things you said, but I will ask the questions anyway. After that, I'll come to Kofi. So you did say that, accept full responsibility, which is, true. And in saying that, you said something that looked like, don't go blaming your partner for what you did. Mm-hmm. But how about if true, your partner has hands in it? Yeah, don't worry,
we shouldn't go there. That's for another topic.
Exactly. How about if they true have hands in it? That's one. And then you talked about we talked about sex. Don't deny them when they say they are not in the mood, and
let them go through their space
for 3 months, for 6 months.
And then
hold on, they are showing compassion, and so they are not in the mood. Are you not sending them away? No answer. Kofi, your final thoughts.
All right. So I think
this is food for thought for everybody who is listening.
As the offending partner, you have to be willing to come clean by giving full disclosure.
Yep.
Because the moment you leave gaps in your story, every time they find out that you did not disclose this or you lied about this, then it will make it more difficult for them to heal. You also have to, your apology has to be very sincere, very genuine. It's not one of those, if you say this, then I'm sorry. It has to be very sincere. And then back to accountability. You have to now be very open. Accountability in this context means that you're going to be as transparent as possible so that they know your every move to make it easier for them to trust you again. Then you may have to also impose sanctions on yourself, as we said earlier on. If, for instance, even if you're seeing somebody in the same choir in your church, it may be time to quit the choir or go to a different service, or sometimes even change churches. Because that's the only way that you can give assurance to your spouse. Lastly, I think it's important to get help.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah,
see someone that you can speak to who can, with some expertise in the area that you're struggling with, that can help. And then embark on a healing ritual with your spouse.
Yeah.
Go somewhere, spend a weekend somewhere, renew your vows, go to a retreat, do something that signifies the beginning of a new lease on your marriage.
Yeah.
I am quick to say that these are for people
who are committed,
value their relationship,
that's true.
And have realized that their actions will hurt the relationship.
Yes.
If you are not in that space where...
If you are not committed.
If you are not committed, like Ariel said, if you are
the...
not in the space of commitment and realize that what has happened is a mistake that shouldn't have happened, I'm sorry, these things won't work for you.
That is true.
And that's when the issue of the fakeness comes in, because you just want to keep your partner for other reasons other than wanting them for real.
Yeah.
And if you want them for real, like, I mean, the things Kofi are saying are so easy. Like, you will disclose it fully.
Yeah.
I've come with my full heart. This is it. You will impose those sanctions on yourself because you don't want it to happen again.
Yeah.
And that won't take so much time. So that,
Yeah.
Ariel, I have 1 minute. Now, answer my questions.
No. Kofi said something I want to touch on. He said you need to go for a retreat. I have a retreat coming up, and couples can come for that retreat.
Answer my question first. Answer my
Which
question,
one?
The one about if true, the person offended.
Oh yes,
they pushed you.
True, you see, when we make a choice, because we want to do it first. And the choice you're making will give you a consequence. So if someone does something wrong, should you make a wrong choice as well? This is a question I'm throwing to you. If your partner does something wrong, should you use that to make a wrong choice?
Certainly not.
Certainly not. So the responsibility is because you chose to.
I gave you money to start a business. 3 times you have squandered the money. So I decided that I am starting a business on the side without even you knowing. So that you will come and tell me that you want to manage it and run it down. Is it the wrong choice I have made? And then you realize that I have run a big business and maybe my sister is the one heading it and you think that I have offended you. Is it the wrong choice I made?
It is not. It is
So
not
you
a wrong
pushed
choice.
me.
It is not a wrong choice. It depends on the circumstances and how you go about it.
Okay.
You know,
So
I mean, recently I was even telling sometimes you excuse or someone used the word wisdom, wise lying, or whatever the word the person used. If you have to make a decision or a choice that is healthy for you, that is good. But if a wrong is done out of a wrong,
that is not good.
That is not
Okay,
good.
'cause
That
you
is
wanted
not
to say
healthy.
something.
In a situation where, for instance, a cheating spouse says that, honey, you're never home. You spend too much time on your job and so on and so on. As the offended partner, is it possible that you can also do something about it? Can you change your schedule? Can you try to make more time? In some situations, you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
And it is clear. And so then they would have to do something about their own selves.
Yeah.
But in situations where you control your schedule or where you can make a conscious
should look
effort
into it.
to be around, I think you should look into it.
So
Take it in good
this
faith.
comes to communication
I'm sorry,
again.
our time is
You-
up.
communication. So you don't have to do the wrong thing before bringing up the conversation
true.
that you are
Our
not making
time is
time
up.
for you.
Okay. So thank you all so much. Ariel, I'm sorry. Our time is up, exactly. Because I still have questions about the sex bit. I have offended you. So 3 months, you are not in the mood. 6 months, you are not in the mood. We'll answer that question later. Thank you all for doing the listening. Next week will come your way. We are in October. October starts tomorrow. Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we'll be having lots of conversations around breast cancer and survival and all that. We'll have those conversations as well. But I've noted 2 topics from this conversation that we will surely have. All the best and